Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, I'm going to talk about your power as a customer and how the way that you spend your money has so much energy and power and can control or has a lot of influence in pretty much any business transaction, right? And this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. So one of the things that you'll see is that when you just do a Google search about how to be a better customer, all the autofills are about, what the business can do to provide better customer service, right? Like very few articles or entries or videos. So if you take a look at these videos, and none of it is about being a better customer. But both sides of the party have influence in how the outcome of a business transaction, what the outcome is, right? And so better customer service, better customer service, better customer service. But if you take a look here at this article, I think this is an interesting one. How to get rid of unwanted customers, right? So it says in business, not all customers are good customers. And this is really important, especially if you have rental property, because you never want a bad tenant within your rental house. Because the hardest thing that a rental property owner can do is making sure that we have a good tenant, aka good customer, right? So if we go here, I'm going to talk about the easiest way to create positive energy as a customer, right? And the answer is so simple. I have it underlined here for you, which is pay quickly. Anytime you order a job and you need to pay and there's an invoice and you know the job was done, obviously don't get ripped off, right? You pay quickly. In fact, this is a story I told a while back where the first time I ever met a contractor to kind of give me a bid on a job, what he said? He said, I hate working with real estate investors because they don't pay or they're slow to pay, and it's just a very frustrating experience, right? That's what he told me. And this guy was also a real estate investor. I think he has like 14 rental houses. I don't know. The number might have increased. I might have to ask him how many houses he has now. He's a really solid dude. But basically, he told me that, and I told him I was a noob. Don't have any experience, but it was a renovation for a rental property. And one of the reasons that I think, if I have another job, he'll work with me again is I'm just going to pay quick, right? I'm going to pay quick. Now, obviously, with contractors, I heard you got to be a little bit careful. That's why every time an invoice was sent to me, I drove to the property the same day, but I drove to the property the same day because the purpose was so that I could be justified in paying quickly, right? And here's the thing, here's the secret. Paying quickly gives the world, it gives the universe positive energy, right? It's one of those metaphorical BS, the secret type things where it's like, what does that mean? Right? That's not rational. Right? Like it doesn't have any sort of spiritual pay quick, right? But it does. Especially if you're dealing with the person who's actually receiving the money and not some sort of a big business like Amazon, where no one, it's all through some sort of completely automated system. But if you pay quickly, you're creating positive energy and you're making people want to do business with you as a customer, right? Think about that. It's kind of like being a student versus a teacher. Now, as a student, you're the customer. Now, I remember being a teacher a long time ago, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life because all of the students, the so-called customers, did absolutely nothing. They didn't want to learn. I remember, and you probably heard me talk about this, where I actually gave all the answers and explanations to the test, and I emailed to every single student. I emailed to the group, and they all still failed. And I was like, I'm out of here. Peace out. I'm gone. Right? Because the customer's essentially scared the business away, the business owner, or the supplier, or the vendor, or the teacher, right? We have the power to scare people away based on our essence and energy and how we deal with others. In fact, if you take a look at this article, I think it's pretty funny, right? Removing unwanted customers. What can we do? Uh, Maintain a presence, continually strike up conversation with the customer or stocking items nearby, offer poor customer service, ignore a customer complains regular or his desire to chat is keeping your employees from getting work done, post company policies. So, here's the thing. It's kind of like going a back and forth. If somebody does you wrong, how do you make sure that they have a reason to leave you so that you don't do them wrong anymore? Right? But let me go back here. So, and I know it's very simple, but this is why I pay people really quickly or as humanly as possible because I want to spread that positive energy onto the earth, right? So, my tenant who doesn't actually contact me that often, it's like once every 6 months, to give me a rental check and then, well, actually not once every 6 months, but like 3 months now to give me a rental check. And then, once in a blue moon, she'll say, "Hey, there's an issue with the property that needs some maintenance," right? And why I get excited? Because if I call a maintenance person and I pay that guy as quickly as possible, I'm spreading positive energy both to the maintenance person and the tenant, right? That's why I get excited. And once I spread that energy and issues get fixed, tenant's not going to have any problem giving me the rent check, right? Like a lot of times people think that you know, people not paying the rent check has to do with like, people losing their jobs and stuff, which there is a component to that. But if you screen them correctly, they should be able to have enough money to pay you, right? So once you screen them and you know that they can pay, at that point it's a matter of are they going to pay you or not, and that has something to do with their character, right? And if they pay you on time, then that creates positive energy, right? And so I like to create positive energy, and I like to work with people who create positive energy, and all positive energy is just paying quickly, right? But too many people, I'm going to tell you, pay slow, they pay late, or they no pay, and they create that negative energy. And I'm going to give you an easy example of what I mean by that. Think about people who you lent money to, right? Like, has there ever been a time in your life where you lent money to people and that created a positive energy in your relationships? And I'm going to almost 99% guarantee you that it created negative energy, and that's because they either pay slow, late pay, or no pay, right? I mean, what if they paid you on time? Then, and with interest. Oh man, we're going to do business together again. I'm going to lend you money, right? But pay slow, late pay, no pay, it's like a force field has been created between two parties, right? And I'm going to tell you my experience that I actually lent, one of my a former coworker, two grand, right? Sob story. I almost knew I was going to lose the money because that's the easiest way to kind of like, lose your money is to sob stories. And so I lent 2 grand, never got it back after 3 years, never got it back. And I even said, hey, you can actually, if you want, instead of paying me directly, I actually want you to benefit from this. So if you could spend that 2 grand that you owe me into educational packages that I actually sell, it'll be lifetime education for you, and you could see all this cool stuff. And you say you want to get a real estate investing, still has not paid because it's either pay slow, late pay, no pay, and thus leading to negative energy, right? You don't want to contact people who do this to you when it comes to money. And this is true with your own family members, friends, or random strangers. If somebody calls me up, says, "Hey, I want to do business with you," and I say, "Okay, well, pay me money," and they take their sweet, sweet time and they ghost me, man, I don't say to myself, "I want to do business with that person." I'm like a credit bureau now, where it's like this guy not gonna pay. But yes, understand that you have power as a customer, and the way that you pay spreads energy into the universe, has so much energy and power over an influence over a business transaction based on the way that you spend money. And that's why people want to do business with me because I spread that positive energy. I don't, if I decide that I'm going to enter in a business transaction, I'm not going to pay slow, late pay, no pay because I don't want to spread negative energy to the world. And you shouldn't either. But too many people, and I'll tell you why too many people will spread that negative energy. It's kind of like eating fast food. Feels good at the moment to not pay, right? You pay slow, it's like eating a French fry, right? And the other thing is kind of a misaligned philosophy where people value the money more than they value the people. And I talk about this all the time, where you have to learn how to use the money and love the people, right? Every time I got to spend money for my tenant, I get really excited because I want to see my tenant happy, right? I use the money to love the people. But too many people, they love the money and they use the people. And this is why you have so many landlords who skimp out on repairs just to save a couple of bucks and then they wonder why they have issues with their tenants. In fact, I could just do a quick search on Reddit, Reddit, landlord won't make repairs, right? And I could see so many of these, entries on Reddit about why won't the landlord make repairs. I'll tell you why the landlord won't make repairs. In a sane, rational world, it's because the landlord loves the money and uses the people, right? And this is why if you look up most arguments about how landlording is wrong, it's that they're seen as parasites, right? Let me just do that. Landlord parasite. Yeah, are landlords parasitic? Landlords are parasites, right? It's not that landlords are parasites. It's that the person in the position of being a landlord loves the money and uses the people. Whereas I am a landlord who loves the people and will use the money, right? You gotta use the money and love the people. It's a very slight but powerful nuance based on how you spend your money. So hopefully, this all made sense, and I'm not just babbling on and on and on. Although maybe I'm doing that to just make the runtime of this video long, so that you can give me more ad revenue, and I could be super rich. Oh, YouTube is making me so rich. Actually, let's actually check this out. How much money am I making on YouTube? $300 a month. So if this goes to I don't know, 12 times 12, no, actually times 10, $3,000 a month by me padding out my videos and you just listening to me talking about whatever on and on and on. Maybe this will turn to $3,000 a month. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I like to joke around like that. But all right. Well, this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. Hope you have a great day and we'll speak next time.